Alright, so a little quick video on a Xenolord Ultra Clear using this Jetragon army. Surprisingly quick kill. So no Absolute Frost, no Double Blizzard Spike, nothing like that. It's just the Meteorain effect coming into play, which you will see soon enough. So I've been testing out some of my armies, just comparing some Jetragons, Palladius, Rios, even Libero, Bastigor, like all of them, just doing some Xenolord Ultra kills over and over. And this is just the fastest one I've gotten so far. So it's not a set method of doing it, it's just showing a real potential with this Meteorain spam that's coming in here. So this is mainly about focusing on player damage, really, even if it's a pal build kind of with the base pals. They just allow you to focus more on damaging the boss. So in previous videos I've mentioned a lot of using the plasma cannon to just clear out the ads really quickly. You sort of fly from comet to comet, and then 2 plasma cannon bullets or cartridges or whatever you want to call them. 2 shots is usually enough to just clear out each little stack of ads. And then you can add the double blizzard spikes, saving that for the ads as well. But what's different here is that now I just completely ignore these ads. I let the Meteorain from my Jetragons clear them out. And this sort of makes it I can keep spamming my Frostallion attack, so it's a new Frostallion as well. It's using attack passive, so it's not as speedy. It is a little bit more squishy, but it's a bit more offensive oriented. Using Holy Burst, Double Blizzard Spike, and just Blizzard Spike for now. I might swap it for something else later. This just allows me to just keep on focusing the boss with my skills. I don't need to save any skills. It allows me to just keep shooting plasma shots, and I still feel like the player is probably the highest amount of damage to the boss. It's probably comparable, these base pals and the player. Base pals spend a lot of the time dead. The player can do a little bit more over the course of the fight. I'm not sure what the total is. I guess you could check, since I'm just focusing the boss, kind of like my average damage per shot, and see how many shots I end up shooting. But then I do have some misses and some headshots as well, so you would have a pretty rough average, I guess, if I'm doing around half the damage or not compared to Xenolord. Maybe I'll add that after I've finished commenting on this one. So still just focusing on this boss. So really what I mentioned with it's not a final strategy, it's not set in stone yet, is you can probably do this faster. I'm using 1 rescue Rio here as well. You can probably get it a little bit faster using 2. I was just testing out that as well, like how viable they are at doing it on their own. And it is not great. When it does take that break, a random break, and all your pals die, it's not great. So probably always want to keep at least 2 rescue pals going. And then here, something as well you can do, you can dismount and sort of put your pal in the sphere. You can also grapple the ground, but I'm not using a grappler right now. Just to kind of try to protect your Frostallion a little bit. It is, as mentioned, a little bit more squishy. You can't outspeed the like satellite bits and stuff like that. The fireball, depending on how far away you are. So you might struggle a little bit with this more combat Frostallion. So this is more, I mentioned in the previous video, like there is an easy way of doing the fight. Just very consistent, you will succeed. This was me going for more of a kind of speedrun sort of fight, which is something I haven't really been doing just because of how buggy the pal pods are. It doesn't really feel worth comparing a bunch of different pals and builds and skill sets when you sometimes have pals getting stuck in the bed, and you have these different like rescue pals taking breaks randomly and stuff like that. So still not doing like a complete speedrun comparison for Xenolord Ultra, but I feel like it's worth mentioning that this Jetragon army did surprisingly well against it. So one thing is blast cannon deals a lot of damage, then you have holy burst, and then you're sacrificing a bit of boss DPS by not running something else than Meteorain. But instead you can focus the boss way more with both your Frostallion and the player damage. And probably also that the Jetragons will use Holy Burst on the boss instead of random Xenovaders spread around the base. So 4-minute kill. I haven't actually timed a lot of Xenolord kills just because it has been so buggy with the pal pods. I'm not sure how this compares to some of my previous videos really. But 4 minutes was the fastest one I got today using these different armies, the different Rio armies and Jignesses. The Jignes and Palladius army were respectable around 30 seconds to a minute longer, but they didn't have Meteorain. So maybe it's worth like mixing in a couple of Meteorain pals. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.